Hey guys, I'm extremely bullish on Kaspa, and the way that it's held its support makes me even more bullish on it. In this video, we're going to go over what the recent price action of Kaspa looks like. How is it doing relative to BTC? What are the recent developments with Rust? How does the on-chain activity look, and is it still growing? And I do have one slight concern with Kaspa, one little bitty concern with Kaspa long term that I do want to talk about, and I'll also address how we mitigate that concern on chain. But first, I want to welcome you all back to Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense, guys. Over 1,000 subscribers in the last month, and I'm grateful for every single one of you. If you're not part of the Freeman and Finance family, please pause the video, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, and let's get into the video, guys. So Kaspa, as you know, the fastest open source, decentralized, fully scalable layer 1 in the world. They have seriously done what Satoshi tried to do with Bitcoin. But the problem was with Bitcoin, they didn't know it would have as much use cases as needed. At the time, 1 block per 10 minutes was probably fine. Well, Kaspa used Bitcoin as its test net, truly. And as you can see, Kaspa has a 1-second block time. So that's going to be very important for later on in the video when I talk about some potential concerns and also Rust. But getting into the price of everything, we've got a total crypto market cap of under 2.2 trillion, and BTC has fell 10% this week. Guys, that is massive for something that has a $1.2 trillion market cap. This fear and greed index is 52. A lot of people get scared when they see that, guys. We're right out of the greedy territory. This is perfectly fine. I would actually prefer to see a little more consolidation at this price point, or even a drop of BTC down to 51, which would lower this into the 38 to 40 range. I think that would be a good cool off prior to skyrocketing up in the bull run. But let's take a look at where Kaspa's at, guys, in terms of total market cap. We're currently at 43, holding a little under 11 cents at $2.5 billion of total market cap. And so I just want to say, guys, whenever we have crazy things happen in the market and we're going into a bull run, there will be exchanges that we hear about going down, halting withdrawals. We've seen it recently with KuCoin and Kaspa. I do think KuCoin has resolved their issues, but guys, just always remember to store your crypto on a cold storage wallet, guys. Here's the Kaspa Tangent wallet. There's only 621 of them left. They just started shipping them at the very end of April. It's now May. So get you one. This is what they look like. Here's what they look like. It's a 3-pack, guys. It's extremely good. You can get 10% off using promo code Freeman. I'll have a pinned comment just for you guys, but I never want to see anyone lose their crypto to an exchange or anything like that. But let's get into the price of Kaspa, guys. So I want to show you all this. This 10-cent mark is where I have the line drawn right now. And you can see it is holding very steady. Back here, we created a support, which used to be a resistance. Then we have a support here, and then we still have a support here that we're holding steady. But I said that this is doing better than BTC. And when we look at this trend, guys, when other alts have been down 10%, Bitcoin's down multiple percent on the day. When we look at it, you can see visually how much further down Bitcoin is. In terms of Kaspa, guys, it is not down nearly as much, and it's holding a lot more steady. So that's extremely bullish. We have a very strong support at 10 cents, and I do not think we break 10 cents. If we do, I think it'll be quick with a wick back up above 10 to where we are now, but I could always be wrong, guys. As always, none of this is ever financial advice. I'm just a guy who's slightly a degen, loves finance and research and crypto, and love Kaspa. Love Kaspa a lot, guys. So let's get into it. Kaspa on Rust. This was an update today. Node stable release feature complete. So this is awesome news, guys. So how has this changed anything with activity on chain? Let's get into it. So we all know, as I discussed earlier, 1 block per second with Kaspa. This Rust is supposed to allow 10 blocks per second, eventually 32, and there's even talks about up to 100 blocks per second, which also is going to get into my concern with Kaspa that I want us to address, because I think we should talk about the pros and the cons when analyzing any crypto project, and I will always bring y'all my honest to God opinion. So if we look at the hash rate, we're all the way up to 230 petahashes, which is amazing, guys. That is extremely, extremely efficient. As we can see here with difficulty, we all know these, when mining, the mining gets more difficult as tokens are released. Same with Bitcoin. This is absolutely no different. We see it's pretty much a linear line up here on difficulty, but that's not as important for us as investors. This is the migration to Rust from Go nodes. So we can see here at the very end of March, we had just about 100% Go nodes with almost no Rust nodes, and we had a pretty linear step down here until we hit 80% of Go nodes to 20% of Rust nodes. That was really good. But we do kind of see a little stagnant here for the last couple weeks. Now, coincidentally, this was the same time we started seeing a dip in the market. So could this have anything to do with it? Maybe. Also, this is not an upgrade that is forced on miners. Kaspa even said that is the beauty of decentralization. Miners can choose if they want to start Rust mining or migrate later. And so that is what we are seeing here. So let's look at real-time transactions, guys. I like to look at this per hour because it's hard to really make sense out of any of this. And so we can see here this axis on the right-hand side, the top line's 4.5K, the bottom 0. So we can see here the majority of them are between 3.8 thousand and 4.2 thousand. So we're averaging somewhere around 4,000 transactions per hour, which is good volume, but nothing crazy compared to Solana or anything. But we've got to remember, Kaspa is at an infancy, guys. Kaspa is a brand new project. There is no smart contracts on Kaspa yet. There is no dApps built on Kaspa yet. There is no anything, any layer 2s, anything on Kaspa yet, but it is coming, guys, and that is going to help resolve the problem I talk about in the second. So when we look at this average transactions per second, we know we're currently at 1, but when we see it's pretty steady around 1, guys, but when we go to the max, it's all the way up to 28, 24, 23, averaging around 22, 23, we're saying. And so this is the amount of accepted transactions per second. So that's really, really good. So what I want to get into a little bit, I'll show you this linear chart of, and this is going to be linear along with the difficulty, right? But so we're at 23.5 billion Kaspa in circulation. We can see here at the beginning of its life, it was a pretty linear approach between price and tokens in circulation, which means there was a lot of people buying up. If there isn't people buying up, the price actually goes down with inflation. And that's what we've seen now, essentially. There's been more selling than buying in terms of tokens open on the market. That can be either from open liquid, like people selling them, or from inflation due to mining. And so I expect we will see a good tick up coming up. If we look at wallets holding over 10,000 Kaspa, guys, let's just look from the beginning of Kaspa, or the beginning of April when I did the last video, and going to now, we've gained about 4,000 wallets. And so 4,000 wallets might not seem like a lot, but let's look at it in terms of percentage. That's how I like to look at anything in life. We had 70,000 at the beginning. Now we have 74. So we gained 4,000 out of 70,000, okay? That is about 6% growth. So what about when we get 100,000 holders, 200,000 holders? If we can keep growing at that same percentage, that's a very healthy, strong market. But eventually you run out of Kaspa, right? And so the last thing that I want to look at is going to be exchange holdings. So when we look at the total exchange holdings, they are at 2.86 billion. We know there is 23.5 billion in circulation right now, which means over 21 billion tokens are locked up either on cold storage wallets or off-chain somewhere. So that is only about 10% of the available Kaspa right now is actually on exchanges. So that is not a lot at all, and that's something that will cause a price squeeze whenever this large demand comes. So guys, the next thing that I want to get into is smart contracts. They've recently announced KRC20 with Kaspa, which will allow smart contracts, dApps, and layer 2s. So why is this important, and how will this help resolve the potential problem that I'm thinking of. And what is that problem? Smart contracts on Kaspa enable the creation of innovative and secure applications, ranges from DeFi, platforms of gaming applications. This flexibility and scalability of Kaspa smart contracts open the door to a wide array of cases, driving the adoption of decentralized technologies across industries, guys. A lot of layer 2s help with scaling. That's what Ethereum layer 2s are. They're for scaling. Kaspa does not need it for scaling. Kaspa needs it for functionality. Let's add DeFi application, something with real world assets, guys. Does this ring a bell? I could see this being extremely, extremely bullish. And once stablecoins hit Kaspa, it will hold a whole different meaning in volume. We will see those wallets and transactions per second skyrocketing. Stablecoins are a very vital part to any ecosystem. They provide a lot of liquidity to the market that is much needed. And so the miners have to be profitable, guys. Guys, Kaspa is a proof of work blockchain, which means miners are paid for processing transactions and proof of work, okay? Well, once all the Kaspa has been mined, there will be no yielded reward in Kaspa for mining. The only way miners will make money is based off of processing transactions, which is why we must make sure they are profitable, guys. And as you can see here, they're still in profit on the month, on the week, on the day, and on the hour. So as much as everyone wants free transactions, the dirt cheap transactions with Kaspa is extremely cheap. But that's easier on proof of stake. But proof of work takes a lot of computing power, GPU, stuff like that. It raises your electricity bill. And it's not free to be in these mining pools. There are fees associated with that. But as you can see, guys, everything with Kaspa is doing extremely well. You can look at these different miners right here, the hash rate, the power it takes up, and how much profit they will yield on average. But guys, let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this price in the market overall and Kaspa? Do you think we are heading towards a bull market or a bear market? Are you scared or are you happy? Are you greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy? Or are you a duck? Nah, I'm just joking, guys. But like I said, thank you all for joining Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense. Please watch one of these 2 videos up above. Keep your crypto secure on a Tangem Kaspa collab wallet. Guys, use promo code Freeman down below. Subscribe if you haven't and join the family. Thank you all.